Hello, and welcome back to the Joshua Star Talks YouTube channel. And today, I'm going to be talking about why applying for jobs sucks. Nothing else to say? That's the title of the video. So I know what everyone is thinking. Why are we talking about jobs? So, I'm Joshua. I've been someone who's been trying to apply for a job for a long time now, for the last few months. I've applied to over 50 plus jobs, had multiple interviews, had at least 10 of them. And so far, I've had no luck. I've either got nothing back, had stuff canceled, or just everything did not work out. So, finding a job for good old Josh has been really hard, and I'm going to be telling y'all what the experience of the job hunt is like right now. So, you see this thing called a job application, an employment application? A lot of people meme on this thing online. They're scared of jobs. The J word is censored. They call job a swear word. And it's because of this thing. There's a meme online with the employment and the job application. I would be a little bit more worried about it if these things actually existed. Because applying online is really easy. There's a lot of different ways you can apply for a job online. And that's actually one of the few pros of getting a job at this economy. You can apply online, you can apply through Indeed, you can apply through a lot of different spots, either at the restaurants or general stores websites, or with a lot of different ways. There's actually a lot of ways you can apply for jobs online. The problem is you can't apply in person anymore. So going into a building, showing yourself, looking the best, and doing a job application with pen and pencil in person is something that just doesn't happen anymore. I've went out multiple times trying to go to multiple restaurants and multiple places that I could potentially work for just to get my first job, because I'm someone that doesn't really have a resume at the moment. I need a first job. I don't really have something. So having that option of going into person and showing myself doesn't work because I can't apply in person no more. Applying online, though, while yes, it is very easy to apply online. You can get like at least 5 done a day. The problem is that all you have online is either your resume, which I don't really have right now, or other stuff. Like, for example, like your age, your personal information, your other stuff. People that are looking at an entry-level job and looking at a resume like mine, they're not going to pick me compared to other people, because other people has way flashier resumes and look more fit for jobs compared to I am. And I'm just trying to look for an entry-level job here. Imagine how much harder it would be if you're actually trying to get a higher-level job. So I have applied to a lot of places. I will tell you all how a lot of those application processes work. And yeah, either you have to apply through a website online like called Indeed, or you got to apply on some random site that some other who knows made and give your personal information online on the internet. That is very annoying, but this isn't even the worst part. The worst part is, even when you apply for jobs, there's not even a good chance that you can get anything back. As you can see through this graphic, these are all of the jobs that I have applied for. Applebee's, Olive Garden, Walmart, Panera, Starbucks, Chili's, Home Depot, Raising Cane's. And these are not even the only ones. There's even some more. Chick-fil-A, racetracks, store clerk at the freaking Lee Quinn Hotel Suites, Firehouse, Academy, AMC. These are entry. A lot of these are entry-level jobs. And I got none of them so far. To be fair, some of those are pending. Like, for example, my Panera one is pending. My Chili's one is pending. Like, there's a lot of these that are still pending. But still, I've applied to a bunch of these. And I'm not just applying to one store, by the way. I'm applying to multiple stores in my area, applying at multiple different positions as well. And I'm applying to the entry-level positions as well, like restaurant crew member, or Starbucks barista, or stocker at a Walmart, or host position at a Chili's. Like, these are entry-level jobs that anyone could get. If anyone should be able to get these. And yet, I've still got nothing back. Most of the time, most of these places just don't even call back. It sucks. It's a nightmare. And just knowing that you don't get, even though you're trying your best to put yourself in the best position possible to make money, and then just getting nothing back is a slap in the face. But the worst slap in the face is when you actually get something back and you schedule an interview, which I actually have had a few interviews scheduled. I've had interviews scheduled by multiple different places. I'll just show you the 3 worst ones. So these are some of my interview disasters I want to say. So I applied to Canes. This was like a month ago. I applied to a Canes. I already failed at a Canes earlier. I did an interview earlier, and it didn't work out. I didn't get the job. So I tried it again at a different Canes, and the time was a Wednesday at 5:40. 5:40 was the time when my interview started. It was like that weeks before the interview, which, by the way, sometimes you don't even get interviews immediately. Sometimes you have to wait weeks to do your interview, which, yeah, it's another nightmare as well. And what happened is once it was the day for the interview, I got a little notification at around an hour, like a few hours before. It was like 2 o'clock. My interview is supposed to be at 5:40, and then they changed my interview time to 3 o'clock on the dot, out of nowhere. And yeah, I was completely not ready for it, and I was late for it. Great job, guys. Scheduled for 5:40, my butt. So that was great. I love being robbed by the place, but that's not even the worst one. Let's first now get to Olive Garden. Oh my god, this one is actually really bad. Olive Garden, I applied to a to-go specialist or a host. I think I applied to 2 spots there. And I originally had an interview. This was scheduled a week ahead of time. And I had an interview on the Monday. It's not this Monday. It was a couple Mondays back. It was a Monday at around 2 o'clock. And everything was looking good. I kept getting notifications on my email and my phone number and text messages that this interview is happening. We're having it. And then 12 p.m., 2 hours before the scheduled interview, they canceled my interview. They just canceled it. 2 hours before then. And this isn't even the first one. There was one of the Applebee's that I applied to that did the same thing. But at least that was days before they sent an email, so that's fair at least. This one, nah, just 2 hours before the interview happened. I was so salty with this. I still went in at that time just to tell them what was going on and see if I could still get something anyway. Apparently, they already had that position filled out, and they did not need any more people to work for them. Yay! I love it. That is great. Amazing. But oh, that's nothing. That is nothing compared to one of my Applebee's interviews. This happened just a week ago, and this might have been one of the worst interviews I've ever had. So I've had a few interviews in the past. Like I had one from Canes, not this one. It was another Canes I took, and that one actually went well. I just did not get the job. And there's one from Panera where they actually asked me questions. Chili's, Panera, and Raising Cane's are actually a little bit better with their interviews compared to Applebee's. Good old Applebee's here. Oh man, I can't wait to tell you how this one went. So this was an interview that happened last week. It was on Tuesday at around 2:30. And yeah, I go into the restaurant at 2:30 and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for an interview. I'm trying to apply for, I believe it was a host position. And there's no one there, by the way. There's no host there, by the way. It was actually one of the bartenders that was being a host. So they obviously needed a host position spot. Obviously. So I felt pretty excited. I get seated, and then I'm there 15 minutes just sitting there waiting for someone to come out. Waiting there 15 minutes. Someone eventually comes out, ready for the interview. All right, the interview is coming. And the questions, the kind of questions you should expect during these interviews are like, what is your availability? Do you have a ride to the place? What are the reasons why you want to work here? Like, those are some valid questions that other restaurants and other places will ask when you do these interviews. Applebee's, on the other hand, you're not going to believe some of the questions I got. Is your phone number correct? How do you spell your last name? It's like they thought I was a bot. Like, it was so bizarre. It's like they thought I didn't exist as a person. I don't know why, but yeah, it was one of the most awkward interviews of all time because 15 minutes, first of all, the first 15 minutes was just delay. I was delayed by 15 minutes, and then I only had 3 or 4 questions, and the questions are like, is your phone number correct? Like, spell your last name? And like, show us your identification. Like, not actual interview questions where I could actually fit within the position as a host at Applebee's. I even told them that my parents originally worked at an Applebee's. But no, they didn't give me any of those questions. They just asked me the world's worst questions of all time, which led to one of the most awkward interviews of all time that I eventually just walked out. It was that bad. Like, I did walk out in the middle. I walked out at the end. But still, I can't believe it. It was one of the most awkward interviews I've ever had. And if you guys had this experience while doing job interviews, please tell me in the comments below, because I can't be the only one that's struggling, not just with finding a job, also within these job interviews. Because I struggle with these job interviews. I mean, I panic, I freak out. I'm not sure what to really say or do. I'm not really good trying to do an interview with people, especially when the stakes are really high. But when it comes to situations like this, what else are you supposed to do? Like, no wonder why unemployment rate's at an all-time high. If I'm struggling getting a job, imagine other people. They're in a lot lower position. It sucks. Getting a job in the modern-day U.S. is a freaking chore. And the big reason why is because the job market's really bad right now. There's a lot of people in a lot of higher-placing positions, like electricians and, like, doctors and other positions. Like, airport had it really bad too. They had a lot of people leave, and they had a lot of people laid off and fired. A lot of people lost their jobs from the higher positions, so they're taking a lot of the lower position jobs. That doesn't even mention that a lot of entry-level jobs, job applications, you need to have a job. They always have work experience as one of their to-goes, but the thing is, these are entry-level jobs. You should be able to get these without having any job experience. So now you need job experience, which if you don't have a job, tough luck. You're screwed. Dunzo. So getting a job in the modern-day U.S. is a freaking nightmare. I'm hoping I get one in the future. Like I said, I still have a couple of these jobs pending, and I'm applying for jobs every day. So this isn't going to be a constant. I will have one soon. Hopefully. And yeah, but who knows? Maybe if this video does well, maybe my job will be on YouTube. We will see. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the first episode of Ranting with Josh, ranting about why job hunting sucks. If y'all guys have had any similar experiences that I have, please tell me in the comments below. And if y'all guys have any assistance or any guidance on how to potentially get these jobs easier, please tell me in the comments below as well, because that would really help. Hope you guys enjoyed this video regardless, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!